Hi guys, Brexiteer Michael Gove was speaking to Nick Ferrari on Friday about housing. He was asked how much his first house cost and he claimed it was about £200,000. The host says that this is currently below the average cost of a property in Britain, but the bigger point is that the deposit on a mortgage on the average home is beyond the dreams of many young people. When presented with this problem, Gove resorted to fibbing about how the UK's exit from the EU has made dealing with this problem easier. Have a listen to this.
Can you recall what your deposit was when you bought your first house, Mr. Gove?
I can't, but I do remember that.
Can you remember the purchase price of your first house or flat?
Yes, I think it was just around the £200,000 mark.
Oh, as much as that. Okay. I mean, you're aware of what the average UK house costs now?
I think it's closer to the 400,000 mark.
Well, the average UK house is 291,000. Sorry, 291,000 according to Halifax. That means a deposit probably of nearly £54,000. How are most young people meant to get to that figure, Mr. Gove?
Well, two things. Firstly, we are explicitly helping people because of the new Help to Buy scheme that will mean that people will only need effectively a 5% deposit because we will provide an equity loan along with the developer in order to make it easier for first-time buyers. The second thing is, you're right, there needs to be broader reform of the mortgage market, and now that we're outside the EU, we can work with lenders in order to do that. One of the difficulties is that Labour want to stay within the boundaries of EU regulation. That will make it more difficult to reform the mortgage market.
My goodness. And of course there's no pushback from Nick Ferrari here. Just allow him to fib and no resistance from the host at all. Help to Buy, as you can see here according to Wikipedia, is a government programme in the United Kingdom that aims to help first-time buyers and those looking to move home and purchase residential property. According to a 2024 study, the programme led to an increase in housing prices without any impact on housing construction in severely supply-constrained and unaffordable Greater London. This was a policy brought in 2013 by George Osborne, and it increased house prices. Now, Michael Gove's response to this is what we're going to do is we're going to tweak it a little bit, where we're not actually going to bring down house prices in order to make it more affordable. We're going to tweak the system where people end up with a smaller deposit and more debt. But that's not going to help people. That's just going to load them up with more debt. If house prices came down, then the deposit would be smaller, and of course the amount of debt that people would take on will be less. But the Tories don't want to do that. They don't want to affect house prices. They want to see house prices increase because, well, many of their voters want to see house prices increase. And of course, this thing about being outside the EU, he has no evidence to support this claim. How is it the case that you're saying, well, we need to be outside the EU to implement these policies, when the UK has been outside the EU for about 4 years now, if we include the transition period? So you've been out for 4 years and you've done nothing, and now you're saying, well, vote for us and we'll implement a policy, a post-Brexit benefit after the next election. It's insane. And the worst thing about it is that he's able to sit there in a studio and he's able to regurgitate this stuff and face no pushback from the host. Michael Gove came on first and he was asked about the average price of a home in Britain. He's the Levelling Up Secretary. Before that he was the Housing Minister. And he didn't know. Isn't that a problem? He's not some backbench MP, or he's not even a member of the opposition. He was the Housing Minister and he got it completely wrong, the average price of a house in Britain. And he's able to just say, well, now that we're outside the EU, we'll be able to, in the future, implement policies. We're going to work with lenders. I don't think the lenders are going to back this. A lot of them have said that this is too much of a risk for us. You're creating something similar to the subprime bubble in America back in 2006, 2007, that exploded in late 2007, 2008. And created a financial crisis. But Michael Gove doesn't care about that. He's just there to promote the Conservative Party and promote Brexit, it seems. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.